Okay, so it's time to add to my artist battle series where I put two artists against each other and I ask you guys who has the better discography, who had the better career in your opinion. So today we got Justin Timberlake versus Usher. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while. And so in terms of who I'm going to pick, it's going to be Justin Timberlake and it's not even close. Okay, let me explain. So I think that his debut, it was decent. You guys kind of overrated, but there are some really good album tracks in there. Nothing else was amazing. Take it from here. The back half of the album kind of does fall off, and the front half kind of more so care about the singles, but it's decent. You kind of overrate it. Future Sex Love Sounds 8. Okay, you had Sexy Back, you had My Love, and then Summer Love was a great song on there as well. Even Chop Me Up is something that's grown on me. So yeah, I like most of the songs in there. It's a solid album. 2020 Experience Part 1 is goated. His best album, okay? When we're looking at Mirrors, Blue Ocean Floor, which you guys underrate. I like Suit and Tie, you guys hate on it way too much. And Tunnel Vision was excellent. Strawberry Bubblegum Fed Families, that song Fed Families. So yeah, I like every song on there besides was it Let the Groove Get In. Like I don't like that record. I think it sucks. But yeah, part 1 8. Everyone knows part 2 sucks. There was only like 3 good songs in it. Like, we can pack it up. Man of the Woods was not a good showing. It wasn't a good showing besides stuff like Breeze Off the Palm, which is one of my favorite Justin Timberlake songs. Montana, Midnight Summer Jam. But for every song like that, you had Filthy, you had Supplies. Like, these were just slop. These were bad songs. So the album was not good. And then he just recently rebounded with his new album, Everything I Thought It Was, which is really good. Infinity Sex was a great song. Technicolor, Sanctified as well. Imagination was one of my favorites. The first 2 songs were a chop. It starts at track 3 for me, okay? And then some other songs I didn't really care for. Conditions was a chop, but I really like that song that he did with NSYNC. That was a really good song. So yeah, most of his albums are pretty good. He has strong singles. He has great album tracks as well. So that's why I'm picking Justin Timberlake, okay? Because what 2020 Part 1 did for me, it fed families, okay? I remember when Mirrors came out, I was listening to that all the time. Now let's get on to Usher. I did not listen to Usher's first album because everyone says don't listen to the album, okay? He was young when he did it. He didn't really have artistic kind of moment in there. So I didn't listen to that one. My Way, I only listened to half of it. I finished it today. I didn't really care for My Way. I always say it was his way. I didn't like the album. I didn't really care for the album. And you guys give it too much. So yeah. 8701, great album, okay? I really enjoyed it. U-Turn was a great song. This had like You Don't Have to Call, You Remind Me, You Got It Bad. He had all the You songs on the album, but this was pretty good. There was songs like Can You Help Me, which like I said, like whenever he does I'll Do Anything for Your Love, like that note, he sounds horrible. And some people say it's for emotions, it sounds like shit. Like we can move on from that. And then that song that he did with Diddy was awful as well. I think he had a song with Jermaine Dupri, which was also bad. So there was some lows, but I think that's his best album, okay? I'm not really that fond of Confessions. I discussed this before, but it was carried by the singles. The album tracks, I think I might have saved one song. Was it Simple Things? I think that would have been what it's called, but for the most part, I saved the singles. And Confessions Part 1 is better than Confessions Part 2, but I was excited for this album. It did not deliver what I had expected, okay? So I believe after that, he released Here I Stand. And so my take on Here I Stand is it was better than Confessions to me. Like album tracks, at least that's what I thought the first time that I listened to it and everything. I just feel like a lot of the songs on the Confessions album were blending together. At a certain point, it's like, okay, let's pack it up. Love in This Club I thought was decent. I like Something Special. And yeah, at a certain point I kind of just I just tuned out. So yeah, but it was more tolerable to deal with than some of the other songs and Confessions. Okay, so then we had that album, and then what was the album that I just listened to by him? So it was going to be Looking for Myself. Looking for Myself was not good. Okay, because Scream, that was a decent song, and maybe one other song, but it's just very dated. I forgot to talk about Raymond versus Raymond. Child, fuck Raymond at this point. The album is so dated. Okay, Mars versus Venus was good until you realize there's that heavy ass breathing in the background, and there was a few good songs on the album. But yeah, I'm not really fond of that 2010s EDM era. I'm really not. That's one of my least favorite eras for pop music, and him having 2 albums where he dives into that, it's like we can pack it up. And so I did not listen to, I think he had 2 albums after this. I didn't get to those because at a certain point I had to pack it up, okay? But I did listen to Coming Home months ago. My thoughts on that, there were some songs I enjoyed. Good was a really great song. I Am the Party is probably decent. Luckiest Man in the World, I like the song with her. So there was good songs, but there were songs like Big. I mentioned the song where he's talking about when I was a kid, I would go to McDonald's, I would never order the small, I would do big. Like that song was a train wreck. He got a song on the side talking about I'm in love with this girl that I see on the side. Like, you're basically 40 years old. Why are you still talking about like seeing women on the side? Like, at a certain point, aren't we gonna grow? Aren't we gonna mature? And that's why the video before this, I'm kind of talking about artistic maturity and why it's important and everything like that. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the Usher albums, at least that I listen to, and what are my overall thoughts on Usher. Usher does not make good albums. Usher is a single artist. A lot of his songs and albums blend together for me. It's a lot of formulaic stuff, and not even a good way, not in a way that catches you. And whenever he tries to do like unconventional stuff, unconventional song structure, it doesn't have that. And Usher basically went from creating the sound to following trends, and that's basically what he keeps doing, and making stuff that's cringy and not making mature music. Sometimes he does do that, and stuff like Lucky's Man, which I think is a great song. But a lot of times I'm finding he's doing a lot of formulaic stuff. He's doing a lot of stuff that's not moving me. He does not make great albums, okay? And that's why I had to call it, and I didn't listen to, 2 of his albums, because every album I listen to is the same fucking shit. You only have a few good songs. Most of them, the good songs in the album are going to be the singles, and then the album tracks just blend together. How many more albums am I gonna listen to when I find the same pattern on every single album? And so yeah, Usher, I'm just not really seeing the appeal of his albums, okay? Great singles, but overall, if you have to ask which artist I'm taking Justin Timberlake. I'm taking Justin Timberlake singles, I'm taking Justin Timberlake album. Like I said, Justin Timberlake does have some lows, okay? When he did Man in the Woods and everything, that wasn't good. He tried to be getting back into his white bag for that album, and it was a train wreck. Don't get that misunderstood. And 2020 Part 2 was bad. Okay. Besides that, the rest of his albums are good as far as I'm concerned. But I've been meaning to make this video. I wanted to listen to a few more of Usher's albums before I made this video to kind of give it more of a fair chance. And the more that I keep listening, the more that I kept leaning toward Justin Timberlake. And I've been feeling this way every single album I listen to. I keep being on Justin Timberlake's side. So that's my points there. And everything. You want to say who's the better singer? Usher's probably the better singer, but we're talking about discography, we're talking about productions, we're talking about just making more innovative stuff. I will give that to Justin Timberlake. You have to give credit to Timbaland and Pharrell and the producers that he works with and everything, but Justin Timberlake stuff just sounds cooler. I think it's aged better. He didn't spend forever trying to go on the trends. I think it helps. And he's taken such big gaps in between every single album, so he wasn't really getting sucked into that and everything. He has his lows, but Justin Timberlake high better than Usher's high. So let me know what you guys think down below, but Justin Timberlake's gonna take it for me every single time.